Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I want us to start by imagining a scenario. And the point is I want us to experience the fact that when we get to know something about someone, it can have a tremendous effect on our lives. So, think about a scenario where somebody just moved in right next door. Let's say that you just got a new neighbor, and at first you don't know anything about this neighbor. So your feelings towards him are pretty neutral. It's just somebody who's living next door. But let's think about two different scenarios and the impact it can have on you if you get to know certain information about this new neighbor. So the first scenario, let's say that you find out that this person is extremely dangerous, that your life and the life and well-being of your family is at stake because of this individual and what they are capable of and what you know about them, their personality, their attributes. Imagine how that would make you feel every day going home, knowing that this person is living next door to you and what they are capable of and what they are like. Obviously, that is going to have a tremendous effect on your living situation, the dynamics of your life, your comfort. And the second scenario, let's say that instead of finding out that this person is very dangerous, that you find out that they are very nice and outgoing and intelligent, and that they can be a very beneficial asset to your life. Anything that you're going through, let's say you're starting a business, you find out that this person, not only is he outgoing and he wants to help you, he literally wants you to knock on his door and ask for help, but he also has a lot of help to give. He can help you start your business. Let's say you're having an issue with your printer, your technology, your car. You know that you can knock on his door and he can fix it for you. And he is extremely nice. He's fun to be around. Every time you're around him, you feel like you're in a better mood. Imagine the way that having that knowledge of him and knowing what he's like is going to affect you and your life and your living situation. So the reason I wanted us to do that mental exercise is so that we can internalize the fact that when there are people or things around us that can have an effect on us, when we get to know about them, it can change our lives. So that being the case with a neighbor, for example, what if we were to get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? If we were to really strive to get to know Rabbul Alameen, the Lord of all that exists, the one that created us, the one who is in control of everything, who knows everything, the most wise, the most merciful, the one who will one day hold all of us to account for the way that we lived our lives. Imagine getting to know Allah. And think for a second, how much do you know about Allah? Think about that. SubhanAllah, we live in a time where we have, as human beings in general, a fascination with celebrities, with the so-called elite, those who are rich and famous, whether they be rich and famous because they are athletes, they're good at a particular sport, or because we find them to be physically attractive, or because they're good at telling jokes, or acting in movies, or dancing and singing and making music, whatever the case may be. We have, as a society, a fascination with these people. There are tabloids and websites and documentaries and movies and books and you name it. We have a fascination with these sorts of human beings. Where is our fascination with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with Allah the Exalted, the one who created us, the one who is perfect in every way? How many of us spend time obsessing over Allah, wanting to get to know Allah? People, when it comes to celebrities, right, will follow them on social media. What is so-and-so really like? What were they like growing up? In the past, what are things they've done in the past? What are they doing today? What are they doing tomorrow? What future plans do they have? We want to know everything about them. Do we know about what Allah is like? Do we obsess over getting to know His attributes, about things He's done in the past, about the stories that the prophets have shared with us about what Allah has done in terms of creating the heavens and the earth, creating us, about what has happened to past nations, about how Allah plays a role in everything we do every day as we exist right now? Do we think about that? Do we obsess about that? Or about what Allah is going to do in the future? What's going to happen to us in the future? What is Allah going to do? What awaits us in relation to Allah? So today I wanted to mention a few names and attributes of Allah so that we can try to get to know Him. This is something that should be on the forefront of our priorities. This is a reason why Allah created us, so that we could get to know Him. So we should not spend another day where we are not trying to get to know Allah, but rather we are chasing things that do not even compare to Allah in the dunya. So, number one, before we even go down this path, we have to know that to Allah are the most perfect names and attributes. When we talk about Allah and who He is, we have to have the foundation that Allah is completely perfect. So one of the names of Allah is Al-Hayy. He is the living. So when we say that Allah is the living, we mean that His life is completely perfect. His living is 100% perfect. And only His living is perfect in this way. So for example, take the human being. We have life. Human beings live. We're alive. But there was a time not long ago when we weren't alive. We didn't live. Whereas Allah was always alive. Always. There was never a moment when Allah did not exist. Likewise, a day is going to come in the future, at any moment, when all of us will die, for certain. Every one of us will taste death. But Allah will never die. He was always living. He will always be living. Likewise, His perfect life, this attribute of His living, which is perfect, which has no flaws, no deficiencies, it necessitates and entails all of His other perfect names and attributes, because perfect life entails certain other things like perfect knowledge, perfect power, perfect wisdom, perfect ability. Whereas we human beings, even as we live, it's not perfect. We have deficiencies. We get sick. We have ailments. We get weak. We need to eat. We need to sleep. We go from not knowing something to learning something to forgetting something. We go from being young and vibrant and having energy to getting old and becoming weak. Allah is perfect. Allah does not need to sleep. Allah does not get tired. He does not need food. So how is it that any of us can ever associate a partner with the ever-living, with Al-Hayy? How is it that everything else, aside from Allah, there was a point in time when it was not alive? And that there will be a point in time where it is dead? Whereas Allah was always living, is alive and will always be alive with the most perfect attribute of life. How is it that we can depend on anything other than Allah, put our trust in anything other than Allah? So talking about life, Allah gave us life. We didn't always live. There was a time where we didn't exist, and Allah created us. And that is another name of Allah, Al-Khaliq. Allah is the creator, and He is perfect in this attribute of being a creator, of creating. Allah simply says, be, and it is. Allah has no limitations to His power of creation. Whatever He wants to create, He can create it instantly, no matter how complex, no matter how grand and big. Now think about human beings. We create things in a way. We manufacture and manipulate things. But think about us. First of all, we ourselves are created. We didn't create ourselves. So even the fact that we exist and create things, it's still an aspect of Allah creating us in the first place. Also, furthermore, we don't create anything from nothing. All that we do is we manipulate things that Allah created using intellect and certain abilities that Allah gave us in the first place. And so much of the things that we have created, they are an accumulation of knowledge and effort that has been passed down for hundreds, thousands of years. The amount of manpower and resources and energy and human beings discovering something and passing it down, and furthermore us coming together and sharing things, and many things we just stumble upon accidentally if you research about how we even discovered and invented a lot of things. And even then, what is the highest manifestation of a human being creating something? And how flawed is it? How impressive is it really, based on all of the thousands of years of human existence and our knowledge and studying? And how impressive is even our most impressive creation? And even then, it's only through the will of Allah that we were even able to accomplish that. Whereas you have Allah created the heavens and the earth, everything in it, and all He needs to do is say be, and it is. In an instant, Allah can create whatever He wants. And even a fly, we can't even create a fly, let alone everything that Allah has created throughout the heavens and the earth. So this is Al-Khaliq, the creator. This is Al-Hayy, the ever-living. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should try to get to know Him. Because as I demonstrated in the beginning, getting to know someone, especially when they can have an effect on your life, it can change your life, it can transform your life. So who better to get to know than Allah? And the last thing I want to mention is about the creation of the heavens and the earth. So Allah tells us in the Quran that He created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and that no fatigue touched Him. So one might ask, well, if Allah can just say be and it is, why did He take 6 days to create the heavens and the earth? Why didn't He just say be and the heavens and the earth were? But rather He took 6 days. Well, first of all, we have to understand that Allah is Al-Hakim. He is the wise. So just like He has perfect life, He is perfect in creating, He is also perfect in His wisdom. There's nothing that Allah does except it has perfect wisdom. And sometimes Allah will share that wisdom with the human being, and sometimes He won't. Sometimes there are particular human beings who Allah grants wisdom and knowledge, and to the exclusion of others. So this particular issue of Allah creating the heavens and the earth in 6 days, some of the scholars of Islam have thought about some of the wisdom, some of the possible wisdom why Allah might have chosen to create it in 6 days rather than in a single instant. So I wanted to, in conclusion to this video, share some of the reasons that scholars have mentioned. So Allah tells us in the Quran that He created the earth in 2 days, and then in 2 days, 2 more days, He created the mountains and He measured the sustenance therein, and then in 2 more days He created the 7 heavens. So 2 days creating the earth, 2 days creating the mountains and measuring the sustenance, that makes 4, and then 2 days creating the 7 heavens, that makes 6 days total. So some of the scholars, they have mentioned some possible reasons why Al-Hakim, the wise, chose to do this. One of the reasons is to show the angels and those who are witnessing Allah creating His power and ability to create. So letting them witness what He is doing step by step, rather than making it all happen at once. Another reason some of the scholars give is to emphasize Adam and his offspring's high status, to show that Allah took this time to prepare the heavens and the earth for Adam alayhi salam, that he would later create to dwell therein. A third reason some of the scholars mention is that doing something quickly is more indicative of power. So Allah saying be, and it is, in an instant making the heavens and the earth, this would be very indicative, obviously, of extreme, perfect power. Whereas doing things in a deliberate manner, step by step, this is more indicative of wisdom. And of course, it is not void of power, because still, even creating the heavens and the earth in 6 days, of course, this shows infinite power, but it also emphasizes deliberation. It shows that there is great wisdom in Allah creating the heavens and the earth. A fourth reason scholars mention is that Allah, who is perfect, who doesn't make any mistakes, for Him to create the heavens and the earth in this deliberate step-by-step manner, it teaches us deliberation. How more important is it for us who do make mistakes, who are not all powerful and perfect, to take our time and to think about things before we act, and to not make rash decisions when doing things, whereas even Allah, who could have created the heavens and the earth in a moment, took His time, took 6 days to do it. So it is a lesson to us to deliberate, to think before we act. And the last thing I'd like to mention is that scholars say that it is to show that creation was accomplished step by step, lest people think that it was just some sort of accident, that the creation of the heavens and the earth was some sort of accident of nature. And subhanAllah, how many people think that today? They think, oh, we just hit the jackpot. We just randomly came into existence. We just happened to be in this area in space, a perfect distance from the sun, in these living conditions. We just popped into existence randomly by some sort of accident of nature. Subhanallah. And Allah tells us in the Quran, did you think that we created you in jest, in play, without a purpose, and that you won't be brought back to us? SubhanAllah. On the contrary, Allah created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. Allah created Adam alayhi salam. Allah ordered the angels to prostrate to Adam alayhi salam, and we are in a particular situation that we know about because Allah sent guidance. Allah sent prophets, messengers, scriptures. So may Allah make us of those who are guided. May Allah make us of those who know Him and His names and His attributes, and we spend our lives trying to get to know Him better. May Allah make us of those whose lives are transformed positively by getting to know Him. Jazakumullahu khairan. Allah surely knows best. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.